Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Belinda, and today we're going to do some masking tape art, and this is what we're going to make. It's really easy to do, and it comes out really nice, and you can make the pattern any way you'd like. This was the one that I did as the sample, so let's get started, and I will show you. Okay, so you're going to need some various color paints, acrylic paints. You can buy these at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Walmart and the Dollar Tree. Okay, you're also going to need a piece of canvas. I use this size, which is 8 by 10, and you're going to need masking tape and of course your paintbrush and little cups with water, and that's for when you're going to be cleaning your brushes, and some paper towels. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, and I already did this on mine, but it's really simple. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to show you how I squared off all the different areas with the masking tape. You just tear off a piece as long as you think you need it, because you want to go from like this was one whole piece all the way down to here. So you have to have them overlapping so that you have only little sections that you can paint in. So like you see, here's a square, and then here's a triangle. So you're going to overlap the tape, and you're only going to paint within the certain areas that are open. Okay? Okay, and you could use whatever colors you want. If you only want to use 2 different colors, you can. On mine, I actually did 4 different colors. So I did the red, blue, yellow, orange, and green. Actually 5. So, but you can do less if you want. If you want to do black and white, if you want to do red and yellow, you can do green and yellow, whatever you want to do. Because this is a really colorful, abstract type of an art piece. And you see, once you're done painting, you have to let it dry really good. Maybe 2 hours or so, and then you pull the tape off. Where you put the tape, that's how you made your little areas to paint in, and you just pull the tape off very carefully, because when you paint, I'm going to show you, you could even paint over that and it won't go through the masking tape. And once you pull that off, you have all these white lines that are separating the colors. So that's how you get those white lines. You don't have to do any white painting. It just comes with the masking tape. As you put the masking tape on, once it all dries, the colors, then you take the masking tape off. Okay, so of course before we start, always make sure you have newspaper on your workspace. Like I said, I do my crafts in my kitchen, so I always make sure I have newspaper down. Okay. And this is the paintbrush I have. It's a little thicker brush, and actually I got this at the Dollar Tree. They come in a pack of, I think, 2. One is like a thinner brush and one is a thicker brush. I think this works best, a brush, instead of the little foam brushes that we used to use for some of the projects at the library. And then I have my paper dish, which I put a little bit of each of the colors that I want to use on it. And I'm going to give you a little tip. When you decide, when you're looking at your artwork here and decide where you want to put what colors, if you decide, say, on green, okay, then decide which squares you're going to put the green in, and do all those at one time in the different areas. Because once you get all the green on, then you can wash your brush and dry it real good with your paper towel, and then move on to the next color. Because if you go in from the green and then to the yellow, you're going to have all kind of mixed up colors there. So I think I'm going to start mine with the yellow today. So I'm going to just take a little bit of yellow very gently, because you don't want to put too much. I don't know if you remember when we used to do painting crafts in the library. My one rule was always to put on a thin coat. Remember I used to say, make sure you put it on very thin. So, see, this is what we're going to do, very thinly. So actually I go right along the edge of that masking tape, so that, but if you go onto the masking tape, that won't hurt anything either, because you're going to pull it off once it all dries, so it won't even show. Okay, and you have to do it very gently and put a thin layer of paint. We always say when you're painting, start out with a thin layer, because you can always add more, but you can't take it away once it's there, because it would really make a big mess for you. Okay, so here I am doing my yellow. Okay, very gently. See, and that's the same little dollop of paint that I used from the beginning. I didn't have to keep putting my brush into the paint. I just went all along, and I'm actually going to go to the edge here. Go all along to the edge, because I want the edge to be covered. And make sure you get it all covered very nicely. Okay, let me keep going with this, and then I will show you how it's coming along. Okay. Okay, so this was my first part with the yellow. So now I'm going to find another area that I want yellow. So I'm not going to wash my brush. I'm just going to put a little bit of paint on there. And I'm going to go to another area. Let's see, maybe I'm going to do this little area down here. It looks like a little triangle. So I'm going to go very gently all along. I even got some on the masking tape, which I said is okay, because it's not going to really hurt anything, because it's going to dry once you pull it off, and it'll show the white lines in between. So there's the other area that I did, and I'm just going to make sure it covers really good and even. Okay, so let's see, I have two with the yellow. Maybe I will do, should I do one more with the yellow? Let's see, maybe I will do this little corner here with the yellow, and then I will be done with the yellow, and I'll go to the next color. So here I'm putting it into my little paint, and I'm taking off the excess, and I'm going into this little area. Okay, and it's always better just to go slowly. Take your time. It's comes out much neater, I think. And painting is supposed to be relaxing. It's not supposed to be something you get all rushed with. So if you take your time, it will look really pretty when you get done. Okay, so here we go. So there, I have 3 areas now with yellow. So now, carefully, I'm going to leave this here to dry a bit, and I'm going to show you, here's my little water that I saved these little pudding cups for. I think I had told you one time I always save all kind of little cups and stuff, because you never know, they come in handy when you're doing crafts. Okay, so carefully, see, I put it in there. Now it may turn the water yellow. And then I'm going to brush off my paintbrush onto the paper towel, just to make sure, because you don't want to mix up the colors in there. Okay, see, my brush is all clean. Okay, so let's see, this is what we have. Now I'm going to pick, I think I'm going to pick, maybe I'll pick blue this time, or no, maybe I'll go green. I'll go green because it's lighter, and it might be easier when I go to clean my brush to get the lighter colors off first. Okay, so I got a little green on my brush, and I'm going to go into this middle square here. And like I said, I'm going carefully, but if I go onto that masking tape, it's not going to hurt anything because you're going to pull it off anyway. I mean, if you can avoid it, it's fine, but if you don't, if you get it on a little bit of the area, that's okay too. It's not going to hurt anything. And I'm painting very gently, making sure it's all covered, and then I'll show you. But I know my boys and girls that used to come for painting, they really liked to paint, and they did such a good job. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to do this with you again in the summer. Okay, so let's make sure we got it all covered really good. Because you don't want any of that white bottom showing underneath. You want it to be all covered. Okay, so there's the green part. Okay, make sure I got it all covered. Okay, so remember I said we're going to stick with the same color. If we want to do another square here, maybe I'll do one more green one, because then I still have those other colors to use. So let me put some more green, and I don't like to do it too close. I like to have them spread out a bit. So maybe I will do it over here. That will look pretty. Okay, so I'm doing it very gently. Whoops, and I got some on my finger, but that's okay. Some people like to wear gloves when they do this, but I don't. I think it works. If you're careful enough, you don't need gloves. Just have to be very, very careful not to get messy with it. Okay. So I hope you're all enjoying your summer, and hopefully you all signed up for our summer reading program this year too, because that is really fun. And this project will actually count toward one of your art projects. So if you're working toward your brag tags and you do an art project, this can count as an art project in order to work toward winning the brag tag, the art brag tag. So don't forget to put down that you did your art project with Miss B on July 13th. Okay? And then you will be on your way to earning the art brag tag. And I think that's pretty neat, those brag tags that we're doing this year. Okay, so now let me show you. Okay, so here I have my yellow and my green. Okay, so now I'm going to clean my brush again. So I'm going to put it in the water here very gently and make sure I get all that green out. Just swish it around a little bit to clean it. Okay. So now I have another piece of paper towel. I have little pieces here. So I'm going to just see how I wipe it through here and try to get the green off so that it doesn't mix in with the other colors. And then I'll be ready to pick another color. And I make sure that the bristles are really nice and dry. See? So I dried it, washed it, and dried it. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm going to go with orange. I like that color. That's pretty. But like I said, you can use any color you want. If you want to just use two colors, you can. If you want to just use black and white, you can. Whatever you think you want to do, because this is your project. You don't want to do it exactly like mine. You want to do it with your own creativity. And I know you guys have a lot of creativity when you do artwork or any of your projects, because I've seen many of your projects come through here with at the library with Miss B, and I really enjoy how you guys get very creative with your things that you make. Okay, so I'm going to turn it around. Okay, so there's the orange, but I want to get all the way across the top here too, because I want to make sure that it covers every part that shows white. So even along the edge, I just go very, very gently. I know it looks hard, but it's very easy. And I know moms would probably help you if you needed some help too. Okay, so here's the orange. Just finishing that up. And it looks like the other ones are drying pretty good. Okay, so there's the orange. Okay, so let's see. So we still have red and blue, and maybe I will, okay, let me clean my brush off because I think I'm just going to do one part orange because I have two other colors yet that I want to use. Okay, so clean that orange off very gently. And actually, I could probably make another square here, and then I could show you how I do it. Okay, so I'm going to make an extra square. So I'm going to get my tape. This is masking tape. And I'm just going to put it across here just to make another square. So I will, even if I want to, I might be able to do another orange one. Let's see. So I'm going to put it right across here. Make sure it's down really carefully. Okay. Just put my finger in the paint. That wasn't good, Miss B, but that's okay. It's not hurting anybody. Okay. So I actually made another square. So now if I want, I can go back and do another orange one. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Because I think on most of the other ones I had two of every color. So let me go back and just touch that one up where Miss B stuck her finger. Sometimes that happens. No big deal. Okay, so here is another orange square that I'm using the orange paint for. And I just put my paint like on a paper dish so that you don't have to worry about washing up anything, or you can just toss it when you're done. So don't put a lot of paint on your paper dish, because if you don't use it, you don't want to be wasting it and having to throw it away. Okay, so let's see. And I think this might dry really fast because it's pretty warm today. And that's going to help it to dry faster too. Okay, so I'm putting it in my water and cleaning it again, because I went back and did the orange again, so I don't want to. Okay. And that's what I have so far. So, let's see, I have 3 more squares to go. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm going to go with the red. Finish up with the red. And maybe I will put the blue in that last one right in the middle. That might be something neat to do. But you could make as many squares as you want. You can make them bigger, you can make them small. A little bit, if you go too small, they're a little bit hard to paint. So you don't want to go too small with it. You want to sort of keep it at the same, shape that it's easier to paint. Because if you go too small, it gets a little bit tedious. And that means that it gets a little harder to paint when it's too small, especially for little hands. Maybe as you get older and you master your your art of painting, then you could paint real little small areas. Okay, so, oh, this gets harder and harder to pick up as you're painting because it's getting full of paint. Okay, so there's my red. Okay, so I'm going to do this last triangle on the bottom here. I'm going to do that in red. Let's see. Do that in red. And then I will put the blue right in the middle. I think that'll look pretty neat. It'll be different because there will only be one section with blue instead of two. Okay. I'm doing the edge really good too. Make sure you get all those edges. And then we'll see if this dries. We don't want to take the paper, the masking tape, or paper tape they call it too. You don't want to take that off until you know that it's dried, because if you do, it's going to make a mess if it's not dry. So let's see. Okay, so I'm done with the red. So now I'm going to go into this and wash it so my brush gets clear, and then I'll only have the blue to do. This is fun to make all different ones with different colors. Another thing that I found that's neat, instead of using tape, you could actually just draw circles, like get a cup or even something like this and put it on your canvas and trace like circles in the different areas. That's pretty neat to do too. There's all kind of ways that you can do painting projects. Okay, so let's see what we have so far. Okay, we came a long way. So this part right here in the middle, that's where I'm going to put the blue paint. I'm going to have it where the blue stands out because it's all by itself there. So I have a little bit of blue that I'm going to put on my brush, and I'm going to go very gently. Okay. Oh, that's going to look interesting, I think. And even if you wanted to, if you bought paint that had sparkling paint, like a glitter paint, you can use that too. And that might be something neat to do with this type of a project. There's a lot of possibilities. Okay, so let me show you what we have so far. Okay, there it is. Look at that one little blue square. It sort of looks strange by itself, but it makes it look pretty unique too, I think. Okay, so now I'm just going to, I think I'm going to do just a little bit of tidying up here while we're waiting for it to dry, and then maybe we can actually take off the tapes from it so that you guys will get to see how it looks. What do you think? We can do that if you want. Okay, so I'm cleaning my brush. Okay, I'm going to throw this away because I'm done with all my paint. So let me just go to my garbage. I will be right back. This is drying in the meantime. I bet yours is drying too. And then we'll be able to take that tape off. Okay. I'm going to empty these out in the sink. Yeah, that's a pretty neat little craft if you take your time and have all the right tools to work with. It doesn't get real messy. Okay, so let's see how we did. Okay, so I get my paint's all done there. Here's my brush. I cleaned that off already. Okay, oh, let's see. It looks like it's still a bit wet, but we can just go like this if we want and just dry it a little bit. It should dry pretty fast. Yeah, see, it's drying. Okay. So I wonder what colors you guys put on yours. If you want, you can always send me a picture. Have Mom take a picture with her phone, and you could send it to Miss B, and I'd love to see them. And maybe I could even post them on our Facebook page. You would just send it to bbyLina@paylesspark.org, O-R-G at the end. And put your name and your age, and maybe I could have some to post on Facebook. I think everybody would like to see how our crafts are going. Okay, so let's see. I think we might be ready to start taking the tape off. Okay, because I want to do that while you're here so that you can see. Okay, so I'm going to look on the back where I ended the tape. I actually went around the corner a little bit. And I'm going to pull it off very gently. If it's dry, you can touch it so it won't hurt anything. So I'm going to pull this first one off, which is the yellow next to the green. Okay, so there's the tape. It's coming off. It's looking good. Let's see if we can get this one off. Oh, yeah. Now there, see? This is what I wanted to show you. Okay, so look, there is the white line. That's where the tape was. And it didn't even get on there. So I painted over that tape, but it didn't even go through. So now I'm pulling the tape off. It's easier if you do it a little bit at a time. You just don't want to rip the whole thing apart because then you might mess it up. Okay, so here we go. Take the rest of it off. It dried pretty fast, I think, because it's just so hot out here today. Okay, so here's some more. Very gently I'm pulling it off. And I still have my paper underneath here, so any scraps I can put them right into the garbage with my newspaper. Okay, so let's get this one off. Very nice. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do it carefully, like I said. Okay, I made one little boo-boo there, but I can fix that up. I got some of the red paint on the yellow, but that's okay. I can touch it up. Okay, let's see. Oop, got this one to go. Good job, Miss B. Looking good. Okay. Let's see, we'll get this last one off here. Okay, and one more to go. And also, I wanted to let you know that we do have some crafts that we call them make and take. And Miss B put some of those together, and if you look on our page where we have all our programming, we have some make and take crafts listed. And if you're interested, you can just email me at my email address on the site there, And if you're interested in signing up to come and pick up a make and take craft, just email me and then I can let you know when they will be all ready to be picked up. You can, because we're going to have one where you can paint a birdhouse, and another one we're going to make a summer gnome. Okay. Oh, now this one came out a little bit different. Okay, so here's mine, the way it came out. There's one little part here. I just have to touch that up, see where the red came, but that's okay. And there, it's all came out very nice. They look like triangles or diamonds. They look like a lot of different shapes there. But you see, here is the white, and that's where you had the tape covering. So I think it came out pretty neat, don't you? Okay, so I hope yours came out just as well as mine. And like I said, if you want to send me an email with your picture, I would love to have it, and then I can post some of them on Facebook, in our Palos Park Library Facebook page for others to enjoy. Okay, thanks for stopping by and doing the craft with me today. I will see you all soon. Okay, have a great day and take care.